dinosaurs ruled the earth with a power and presence unlike anything the world has seen before. Their footsteps shook the ground. Their roars echoed through vast forests. Their shadows stretched across continents as they hunted, fed, migrated, and lived in a world overflowing with life. On the open plains, enormous herds of triceratops move like armored armies, their horns sharp, their frills painted in bold patterns for display and defense. They graze in tight circles, protecting their young from danger hidden in the tall grass. Every movement is purposeful. Every step is part of a rhythm that has lasted for millions of years. Farther away, a Tyrannosaurus rex lowers its massive head and sniffs the wind. Its amber eyes narrow as it detects the scent of fresh prey. Muscles coil beneath its thick hide. This is a hunter built from perfection. Fast, intelligent, and unstoppable. The forest goes silent when it moves. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. In the skies above, pterosaurs glide effortlessly on wings as wide as small aircraft. They rise on warm currents, scanning the world below like ancient guardians of the air. Rivers shimmer under them, bursting with fish, turtles, crocodilians, and giant insects whose wings buzz in the humid heat. The Cretaceous Earth is a masterpiece of creation, lush, warm, vibrant, alive. Mountains rise like guardians. Volcanoes breathe smoke into blue skies. Ancient seas churn with marine reptiles and swirling schools of ammonites. Every corner of this planet is teeming with color and movement. Here, life feels invincible. Here, the dinosaurs reign supreme. Here, the world is wild, balanced, and breathtaking. But above this thriving kingdom, far beyond the clouds, far beyond the moon, something else is moving. A frozen traveler drifts through space. A massive asteroid, older than every dinosaur that ever lived. It has wandered silently for millions of years, nudged by gravity, guided by chance, destined for a collision that not even the sharpest predator can sense. As dinosaurs roam their ancient paradise, the asteroid continues its approach, glowing brighter with each passing hour. If any creature could look up and understand what it meant, they would run. But none of them can. Their world is perfect. Their reign feels eternal. Their dangers come from tooth and claw, not from the sky. Yet on this day, the greatest threat in Earth's history is not walking the land or hunting the rivers. It is falling from space, gaining speed, carrying enough power to reshape the world in an instant. Before we continue deeper into this story of life, destruction, and rebirth, remember to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves exploring the wonders of our ancient past. Act 1. The last golden age of the dinosaurs. Life during the final days of the Cretaceous period moved with rhythm and purpose. Days began with the warm glow of a rising sun, spreading gold over forests filled with life. Giant dragonflies zipped between branches. Small feathered dinosaurs hopped along fallen logs, calling to one another, each sound echoing through the trees like ancient music. The Great Plains stretched endlessly, shimmering beneath the sunlight. Herds of hadrosaurs traveled in long lines, their calls echoing across the horizon as they searched for food. Some grazed on low shrubs and ferns. Others reached into the treetops with beaks shaped perfectly for stripping leaves. By midday, the landscape transformed. Heat shimmered, dust swirled above the earth. Predators emerged from the shadows where they had waited through the morning. Raptors, small but deadly, moved in coordinated lines, their eyes scanning the ground for the slightest movement. Far in the distance, a massive silhouette appeared. A titanosaur, longer than 3 buses and taller than a building, lumbered across the muddy terrain. Each step made the earth tremble. Birds scattered from treetops, startled by the deep vibrations that followed the creature's path. It drank from a lake so vast it reflected the sky like polished glass. At the lake's edge, a group of smaller dinosaurs, ornithomimids with long legs and slender bodies, darted in and out of shallow water, snatching fish with lightning speed. Their reflections rippled as they moved, the surface of the water breaking into dancing waves of sunlight. At night, the world didn't quiet. It transformed. Fireflies flashed across fields. The forest glowed in the moonlight. Predators with night vision prowled between trees, their eyes shining like embers in the dark. The calls of nocturnal creatures filled the air, blending into a haunting but beautiful symphony. For millions of years, this cycle of life repeated. Balance held. Competition shaped strength. Adaptation shaped survival. Everything had a purpose, but forces beyond Earth's atmosphere were shifting. And no creature, no matter how powerful, could feel the approaching danger. Act 2. The asteroid's journey. Far away, in the silent cold of deep space, the asteroid continued its slow descent toward Earth. It was older than mountains, older than the oceans, older than life itself. Carved and scarred by ancient collisions, its surface held the memories of a time when the solar system was chaos. For millions of years, it drifted with no destination. But cosmic forces had changed its path. First, a faint tug from Jupiter. Then, a gravitational whisper from Mars. Finally, a nudge from a distant comet. Each one seemed meaningless. Tiny adjustments, slight bends in its direction. But over eons, slight became significant, and significant became unavoidable. Earth grew from a bright dot in its path to a swirling blue sphere. Every hour, the asteroid gained speed. Every second, its fate aligned closer with the planet below. Inside Earth's atmosphere, nothing had changed. Volcanoes erupted, rains fell, dinosaurs hunted. Life continued its endless song. But in the upper layers of the sky, a new star began to appear. First faint, then brighter, then unmistakable. A white-hot streak that tore through the heavens at unimaginable speed. Still, life below remained unaware. The asteroid entered the atmosphere traveling faster than a bullet. Air compressed in front of it and ignited. It became a second sun, blinding, scorching, unstoppable. Animals looked up, confused. Birds cried out. Predators froze in place. Even the great titanosaurs paused mid-step. But the moment of recognition came far too late. The world had only seconds left before everything changed. Act 3, the impact. The asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula with force greater than all the world's nuclear weapons combined. The impact did not simply hit the Earth, it erased everything in its path. The ocean exploded upward in a tower of steam and fire. The ground folded like fabric. The crust shattered. A crater more than 100 miles wide formed in an instant. Molten rock shot into the sky and rained down across continents. Trees vaporized into ash. Animals collapsed from shockwaves powerful enough to crush bone. Tsunamis rose as high as skyscrapers and swept across ancient coastlines. Within minutes, fires ignited across the planet. Skies turned red, then black, then silent. The dinosaurs who survived the initial blast faced a world turning hostile by the second. Their food disappeared. Their habitats burned. The air filled with soot and poison. The sun vanished behind a thick blanket of ash that would linger for months, then years. A cold darkness spread across Earth. Plants died first. Herbivores starved next. Carnivores soon followed. The age of the dinosaurs, creatures that had ruled the Earth for more than 150 million years, collapsed in a geological heartbeat. Act 4, the long night. Months passed in freezing darkness. The world fell silent. Ash coated the land like a shroud. But underground, life held on. In burrows, small mammals huddled together for warmth. In riverbeds, amphibians buried themselves beneath layers of mud. In forests, insects continued their cycles of feeding, hiding, and laying eggs. They survived because they were small. They survived because they adapted fast. They survived because they could eat anything and live anywhere. While giants fell, the overlooked endured. Over decades, the ash slowly thinned. The light returned. Plants sprouted again. Forests grew. Rivers reshaped themselves. And with time, Survivors crawled out of hiding and into a world transformed. Act 5, the rise of mammals. With the dinosaurs gone, the world opened into something new. Mammals spread across continents. Some grew bigger, some stayed small, some climbed trees, some learned to glide. Others returned to the water. Evolution accelerated. Creatures adapted to fill the empty roles left behind. Eventually, from one branch of these survivors came primates. From primates came apes. From apes came humans. Our existence was built on the ashes of an ancient world. The extinction that ended the reign of the dinosaurs became the spark that allowed our lineage to rise. The asteroid that destroyed life also made room for us to exist. Oyutaro. Today, the crater left by the impact still lies beneath the Yucatan Peninsula. A silent scar, a memory carved into the earth. It reminds us how fragile life is, how quickly everything can change, and how even the greatest species can fall to forces far beyond their control. But it also reminds us of resilience, of survival, of the unbreakable force of life. The dinosaurs had their era, one of the longest and most successful in history, but the universe had other plans, and those plans eventually led to us. What rose from that destruction became the world we know today. What fell that day became history,